What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Micki Morris. I am a wealth energetics coach and healer, and today we're going to be talking about how to get out of the broke mentality, how to manifest money and get to a place of overflow when you feel like you have no resources, when you feel like you're in this paycheck to paycheck situation. So this conversation is going to be deep. I just recently started this YouTube channel. I have over 11,000 clients, but just until recently, all of my content like this has been protected inside of paid containers. So this conversation is going to be really in depth. It's going to give you a ton of value. These longer form videos are newer for me to just kind of try to pour back into my community and find new like-minded people that would love to partner with me. So if this video offers you value, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. You can do that at any point in time throughout the video. Let's get into it. So the very first thing that I'm going to ask you to do before we go into this conversation is drop this mentality of I'm super broke. Drop this mentality, like this victim's mentality, and switch it to a place of curiosity. Just get curious on how maybe you can start seeing life a little bit differently, how maybe you can start seeing yourself as a little bit more well-resourced. Because if you're going into this with a mentality of I'm broke, or yeah, that's fine that worked for you, but it's not going to work for me, etc., etc., you're not going to be open to the magic that can come through with this transmission. All of my videos that I do that are long form are designed to be transmissions energetically so that you start having light bulb moments and aha moments and full body chills. And it's like God, source, I am, universe energy working through videos like this with me that help awaken you and unlock certain levels so that you can quantum leap into your next level of success, income, etc. So I want you to go into this with an open mind. I want you to start thinking about ways that you could become more well-resourced and just be inspired by what I'm sharing. So I will share right now, currently, as I'm filming this in August of 2025, I am a multi-six-figure business owner. I have an award-winning healing container program where I go in and I energetically clear out my clients' money blocks for them so they can manifest more. But 3 years ago, just within 3 years, I was doing Instacart to pay rent every single day. I was selling my belongings to be able to pay for food for my family. And then within that 3 years, I was able to manifest an $82,000 a year salaried position in corporate America, working fully remote with benefits, to manifest a paid maternity leave. However, I decided once I was in this whole corporate America thing that I actually wasn't happy with only $5,000 a month. I wanted to have a minimum of $10,000 every month. And so the universe moved some things around. I ended up getting laid off when my fifth child was only a few months old, literally 1 month after coming back off of this paid maternity leave. And that pushed me into really starting to intentionally manifest. And I decided at the end of 2023, so December 2023, I decided 2024 was going to be my quantum leap year. And I was just going to take everything that I knew, put it into myself, go into business for myself, and see what I could unlock within the quantum, what I could unlock within the universe. And it absolutely worked. It changed my life. So within 3 years, I go from literally delivering people's groceries to pay rent to manifesting a corporate job, getting exactly what I wanted, which ended up helping us manifest the house that we wanted in our dream neighborhood, and then going on to manifest a multi-six-figure business where I make 95% profit margins. So it works. But the number one thing that helped me be in this position to be able to pivot from barely making it and struggling to a multi-six-figure business is I never identified with the struggle. So for me, it was like, yeah, my external reality is showing me, my circumstances are showing me, my bank account is showing me that I'm broke, that I don't have a job, that I'm having to deliver groceries for other people. But internally and mentally, I'm like, this is literally just a stepping stone, because I know internally I'm aiming for multi-millionaire status. So it sounds delusional, and it was in a way, because nothing in my 3D reality was showing me that that was true. But I started gathering evidence that it was true for other people. And the more that I discovered it was true for other people, the more I discovered it was going to be true for me as well. So the very first mindset shift I want you to have is, even if there is nothing in your bank account, like you're literally broke as a joke, you keep getting overdraft fees, you're stressed the fuck out, you're like on a beans and rice scraping meals together type of budget, you have kids, you don't know how you're gonna like keep a roof over your head, your car is breaking down, you're having to work a job that you fucking hate, or maybe you're unemployed and you're like scrambling, been there, done that. I want you to try the best you can to step out of the current frame of your life and understand this is just one timeline. This is one version of your life that can exist. But there are also infinite other timelines that you can step into when you learn how to match the frequency of that timeline. This is also what I teach my students, is in the quantum, there are many, many, many timelines that exist that you can activate. You as the person need to embody the thing to activate that timeline. So I'm going to give you an example. You're broke, right? Like you don't have any money, but you have this frequency of, that's fine that my current reality reflects that. That's not actually true. This is just a representation of my past beliefs, of my past actions, of my past reactions to life. Really, I'm a multimillionaire and I'm stepping into this embodiment. It just my reality just hasn't caught up yet. When you're in that mentality, you are open to the universe bringing you new ideas. You are open to the universe bringing you new opportunities, new people into your life, new collaborations, new partnerships. And because you're in this mindset of, I'm actually a multimillionaire, my 3D reality just hasn't caught up yet, you're available, you're a frequency match to these higher vibrational, fun, new, financially rewarding opportunities to come in. However, on the flip side of the coin, let's say you're super broke, same situation, but you're highly identified with that. So you're like, my life fucking sucks. I hate my life. I hate my family. I hate where I come from. I can't believe I wasn't born into a family with resources. Everyone hates me. I don't even want to go and look for a job because I'm just gonna get rejected. Like, you know, it's never going to get better for me, or even if it does get better, it's only going to get better for a little bit before the other shoe drops. Like, can you see how the vibration, the frequency is very different there? That person that's stuck in this victim's mentality, it is going to be almost impossible for you to get out, because that is the frequency that you're consistently feeding back into the universe. People that are broke or people that are struggling fucking hate when someone like me comes along and says, essentially, it is kind of your fault, because they're like, well, no, it's not. Like, you're privileged. You can say that because you're X, Y, and Z, and you don't know what I've been through, and you don't know my background, and you don't know my trauma, and you don't know all. That is true. I don't know exactly what you've gone through, but I do know that the law of attraction is always in motion, regardless of whether you want to activate it or not. I know that the law of vibration is always in motion, which means that you're always going to be attracting things that you are a vibrational match for, i.e. if you're putting negativity out, you're always going to get negativity back. I know that the law of correspondence is a universal law, which states as above, as above, so below, as within, so without. So that means that your 3D external reality is always just going to be a direct reflection of what's going on inside of you. Meaning if you shift what's going on inside of you, your 3D reality gets to change. So even though I don't know your exact story, you're also hearing this from someone who was a teen mom, got pregnant at 17, had my first baby at 18, has been in an interracial relationship for 15 years. So all of the racist whatever that you could possibly think of, we as a family have gone through it. I've come from a family with no resources, and even if they had resources, they completely cut me off when I had a baby out of wedlock with my African-American husband. His family doesn't have any resources. There was no help. There was no support. There was a shit ton of judgment. Completely got kicked out of the church and the community that I grew up in. So we were completely isolated, completely alone for years and years and years. Couldn't even get approved for food stamps at one point in time. Even when we were on food stamps, it just felt like one thing after another, struggling to pay rent, literally like trying to flip belongings and sell them to like just keep our head above water. I've been an entrepreneur for 10 years, but because of the intense poverty mindset and frequency that my body was trapped in, no matter how hard I worked, like literally 10 to 14-hour days, there were times where I couldn't even make $5 sample sales to feed my family. And during that time, I only had one $10,000 month. All of the other months I was capped at about $2,000 to $3,000 a month, every single month, no matter how hard I was working. So I get it. I totally understand. And now as a mom of 5 kids, still no support system, still no community, but now being the wealthiest person in my family. And it's funny because there's still judgment around that because I didn't do it the correct way and I didn't go to college and I didn't get a degree. There's going to be judgment no matter what. But I can tell you from my experience, even though I'm in a white presenting body, my family structure and my life situation has not given me the privilege that other people may think that I have, if that makes sense. So I'm not coming from a place of daddy's money. I'm not coming from a place of having everything handed to me and then just being like, oh, law of attraction works. I've literally come from a place of being so like wanting to unalive myself, my nervous system being so burnt out, my self-worth being so in the toilet, in the garbage can, that I literally had to pull myself out of like the depths of despair and learn all of these things that I teach my clients and some of the things that I'm going to be sharing with you today to get myself to a frequency point, to a mentality point, to an embodiment point where the things that I have now could even be available to me. Because when you're stuck in this, I'm trash, I'm worthless, nobody loves me, I'm going to be broke forever, I threw away my life by getting pregnant early, maybe I should have just married better or married someone with money, except when you're in that mentality, it's almost impossible to get out because you're going to continue to attract situations that are going to match that thought process, match those patterns. This is something that I wish someone would have told me, especially because I was stuck in this religious programming of thinking like every single time something bad happened, I was under attack by Satan, that it was like some sort of like demonic, like spiritual warfare, instead of realizing, bitch, it's you. Like I was the problem, right? And I can see it so clearly now. Hindsight is 2020. I can see it so clearly now looking back on how I used to operate, how I used to think, how I used to talk about my situation, my family, myself. Like I can see it so clearly, but when you're in it, it's very difficult to see it. So I'm inviting you to drop this mindset of it's an external reality problem and invite you into just the understanding, the idea, the curiosity around what if I am actually the problem? And we're not going to do it from a place of like, I knew it, I suck, like I'm the problem, I'm never going to get out. No, we're just going to do it from a place of curiosity, like, maybe I am the problem. But if you're the problem, that means that you're the common denominator, which means that you're also the power in the situation. You are also the authority in the situation, which means you have the ability to switch it around. If you put yourself in this situation and your thoughts create your reality and your frequency creates your reality and your actions and your beliefs and your subconscious programming creates your reality, you also have the ability to use this divine vessel that you have, this human body that you have, to tap into the energetic power that's available to you, to tap into the universal laws that are available to you and flip that shit on its head, okay? So I want you to start feeling this energy of, yes, I created my life situation, even the situations where it was traumatic and it was shitty and someone else did something to you, you were still in a situation or a frequency where that was able to happen to you. Now, I'm going to say this only based off of you as an adult. I'm not talking about things that happened to you as a kid. I'm not talking about like assaults that happened as like children. I'm not talking about that. That was their issues. That was those people having very low vibrational experiences. That was all on them. But as an adult, we create our lives. As an adult, we start to be able to be these co-creators with the universe on what we want our adult lives to look like, okay? So that's the first thing, is starting to get out of this mindset of I'm broke, like nothing ever works out for me, etc. The second mindset shift that we're going to go into is just looking at the idea that your favorite entrepreneurs, your favorite millionaires and billionaires, your favorite super successful people are really good at being creative with solutions. even with these people that you see that have a lot of money, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them have these stories where they've had these massive ups and then massive downs, where they make millions of dollars and then they lose it all, and then they come back and they make even more than ever, right? The reason that this happens is, number one, they're not going into this mind spiral of, I knew it, I knew I was a fraud, I knew that first $1 million or $2 million or $10 million wasn't actually real, and now I'm back to being broke. Like, I knew it was just a matter of time before the other shoe dropped. I would say 99% of people that have mastered the frequency of millionaire are not thinking like that. What they are doing when the situation goes to shit is they are thinking of ways to get themselves out. So this is the second point I'm going to make to you. In order for you to get yourself out of this mindset or this time loop of things not working out for you, you're going to have to get really creative. You're going to have to be well-resourced. And I'm not talking about well-resourced from other people's resources. I'm talking about well-resourced internally. You're going to have to learn how to navigate the emotional waters. You're going to have to learn how to find a place of neutrality within yourself, meaning stopping the spirals, stopping the massive anxiety attacks, stopping the deep like valleys of depression. You're going to have to at least get yourself to a point of neutrality where you're kind of floating on the surface of the water instead of getting pulled down every 5 seconds. Because if you're getting pulled down every 5 seconds and you're drowning, literally, you're not going to be able to even have the capacity or the mindset or the space or the energetic resources to start being creative and getting new ideas. So my first advice to anyone who's like, I'm really struggling, I can't even meet my basic needs, but I really want to like be well-resourced and like be a multimillionaire or have so much money that I don't even have to worry about it. All my bills are on autopilot. Like, how do I get from here to there? You're going to have to find a place of neutrality so that you can get creative, because creativity and choosing to be internally well-resourced, choosing to look at new ways that the situation could play out, choosing to see how maybe you could switch things around is going to be the turning point. It's going to be this pivot. But you don't have access to the creativity and the pivot if you are in an internal state of despair. So you're going to have to get to a place of neutrality. The way that I do this is looking at the world as a simulation. This is the most helpful way that I've been able to do it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the Matrix movies, like all of them, like 5 times each, okay? And start to pick up on some of these subliminal messages and some of the awakenings that are inside of this movie, okay? Or inside of this series. The easiest way that I was able to detach was to realize, number one, I came here, I chose to incarnate here. Number two, I definitely have soul contracts that I agreed to go through. So what I'm going through now must be helpful later on in my journey. I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but I know it's going to be helpful for someone or something or myself somewhere down the line. This also drops the why is this happening to me and plugs into the how is this happening for me frequency, because we want to get out of the why is this happening to me frequency, okay? So when you tap into this, how is this happening for me? Or why is this happening for me? Or how can this teach me how to unlock the next level of myself or the next level of my life? And you look at this as a simulation, and you look at this as an earth school, and you look at this as just a way that life is continually reflecting back to you what's going on inside of you. It actually becomes a game. And once it becomes a game, you realize, okay, well, if I just learn the rules of the game, I know how to play games. I've been playing games since I was a kid. I can win this. Some people think that there's no winning in life. I disagree. Like, I think self-mastery, getting to where you want to be, realizing your dreams and having those actualized is winning. So you actually can win this game of life. It doesn't always have to be this spiral of negativity and darkness. You just have to learn the rules of the game that you're playing with, right? So you do have to learn how to detach a little bit, learn how to get yourself to a place of neutrality. And the way that I do that is looking at all of this as a simulation, all of this as a matrix. Now, I don't take it as far as like some people will be like, and I'm the only person here and everything else is an illusion and all the other people are just like not real. That's not true. That's like way off the fucking deep end. No. Other people are real. The experiences that you're having are real, but only in the sense that we all agreed to be here, to be in this earth school simulation, to be experiencing this together. The other way that I look at other humans is like source, God energy. Like I imagine this huge cloud of like just God energy. And I imagine that cloud breaking little pieces of itself off and putting it into individual human bodies. And each individual human body is having a different experience, is having a different vantage point, is having a different perspective. And so source, God, I am energy, gets to experience itself through the collective of humanity with literally billions of different vantage points, perspectives, viewpoints, experiences, nervous systems, backgrounds, cultures, DNA makeups, etc. Okay, so we all are here together as humans, but it isn't as real as you think it to be. And as you start to become a master manifestor, and as you start to learn how to work with the laws of the universe, and as you even learn how to work with time and have a different relationship with time and collapse different timelines and jump onto different timelines, things start happening that feel like magic, and you start to realize even more so, okay, wait a minute, this isn't as real as I thought it was. So that's how I detach. Maybe you have a different way of detaching and starting to step back from the current container that you are living in, kind of step outside of that container. Just observe the current container of your life, start to take notice, start to take notes on what's not working for you, and start to get clear on what would work for you, what you would like to experience instead. Because even just that awareness of stepping outside of your current life and having a different perspective is going to open you up. If you're starting to feel this message, you might also start to feel some expansion like in your heart space, because I'm feeling that in my heart space, and I'm feeling that like in my like stomach area, where it might, even just this message now, us talking about this, may start to feel like some things are breaking open for you. And if you are getting value, make sure you like and sub, okay? So as we're on this journey of trying to figure out what's going to work for us, what's not working for us, we start to get curious and we start to master the ability to just float on the top of the surface. We're not trying to shoot out of the water. We're not trying to climb onto land. We're not trying to do anything except for float. We're just trying to get neutral. Once you're in this neutral place, you have these moments where it gets easier and easier to go into kind of like a meditative state, a rest, like to slow your mind down enough where you can tap into what I call the quantum field. So I personally believe that all ideas, all information, all $1 billion ideas, everything that you could possibly need already exists, but it's like this idea form. It's like in the quantum, it's this energy field. And you as a human are a divine channel. You have the ability through your crown chakra, through your third eye, through your intuition, your sixth sense, through the fact that you are a spiritual being having a human experience, however you want to see it. We have this ability as humans to channel information from the quantum and then use our physical 3D body to bring it into reality. A perfect example of this is women giving birth, right? Like spirit babies being able to channel the spirit, build a body for that baby, and birth the baby into the world. And now we have another human walking around. Humans are excellent at being able to do this, but only if you are in a place to be able to access the knowledge in the quantum. It is completely locked off to you when you are in a state of despair, anxiety, depression, why me, victimhood. Like you cannot access it, okay? And I was just talking to my husband about this the other day, because we have these constructs in society that are created for us, like, you know, how we go to public school, and then we go to high school, and then we go to college, and then we get a degree, and then we go to a 9-to-5, and then we get a mortgage. And, you know, then if you're religious, you go to church, or you go to wherever your place of worship is every Sunday or on the Sabbath, and you have these, this is how you live a good life, this is how you live a bad life, and you have to pay taxes, and you have to do this, and we stop at red lights, and we go at green lights, and we have this entire society that's been built, right? But as you know, if you start to look around, it's a very broken society. It's not really working. It works in the sense that it gets us from point A to point B, and for the most part, we keep a majority of the population alive, but it's not a healthy society. We have a lot of different broken pieces, and you can see that with the wars, with the poverty, with the crime, with basic human needs not being met, with people going hungry, with violent crimes, with people with mental health issues not being able to get the help that they need, with the patriarchy, with women being oppressed and abused, with, you know, underrepresented minority groups that are being oppressed, with racism, with hatred, with systematic oppression. Like we have all of these things that are still packed in and built into our modern day society that doesn't actually work. And this is where the whole rat race idea comes from, right? If you are in this rat race, and people talk all the time about getting out of the rat race, right? But if you're in it, it's very difficult to know that you're in it and to even feel like you can get off the wheel in the first place. So this neutrality point that I'm talking about is not even getting to a point of gratitude, not even getting to a point of I love my life, although gratitude will help you get neutral. But getting to this neutrality point of just floating on the surface of the water is just so that you can take a deep breath of air and start to access some of the ideas in the quantum, to channel some of these ideas on how you could potentially get out. This is one of the things that starts to happen really, really quickly for my clients when they come into my Reiki for Riches container, which is my energetic healing container, where I go in and I help you clear out all of these energetic blocks that have been stopping you and holding you back. One of the first things that they notice is that they start having new ideas on how to create new income. Like all the time, my clients are like, this is so weird. I joined this collective with the intention of maybe having a few new ideas come through, or clearing out some of my money blocks. And it's interesting because ideas is usually the first thing that comes in. And then the second thing that usually comes in really quickly is actually freeing up the monetary side of it so that money starts coming in. But nervous system wins, like feeling the expansiveness in the body and starting to get new ideas on how you could get out of your situation, is the very first thing that 95% of my clients start to experience. And it's a beautiful thing. Like, that is why I love Reiki for Riches, is being able to go in on an energetic level and helping you get to this neutral point where your body can relax enough to even be able to have ideas from God, from your spirit team, from your highly ascended, helpful ancestors, your spirit team of light, your angels, like however you like to get guidance, whoever's on the other side helping you. You can't do that when you're so locked into, I fucking hate my life. Does that make sense? So we get you to this point of neutrality and we start to get curious around, how could this work? What are some new ideas that I could put into play? Then the neutrality point is also really helpful because as you're downloading these ideas, because you are focusing on staying neutral, staying open to new ideas and not being pulled back down into the water, your nervous system is at a place where you can actually take action on the things that you're getting these intuitive guidance nudges around. Because that's the thing too, is let's say you do manage to get to the surface of the water just enough that you're downloading an idea, but then you haven't mastered neutrality or detachment at all, and you're still highly identified with the victim mentality or the why is this always happening to me, or the I fucking hate my life mentality. You're just gonna get pulled right back down, and then your nervous system is gonna be in such a state of upheaval and just constriction that you're not going to have the energy or the willpower or the motivation to act on any of the information that you're being given. It's just going to feel like you're even more trapped because now you're viewing this new idea that came in from a lens of, I knew it wasn't going to work out. Okay. So we're going to drop the victim mentality. We're going to get to a place of neutrality, and we're going to start to set the intention to download new creative ideas. Now, the next point that I want you to start to play with is the fact that you're actually not broke. You think you are, but if you are watching this, especially, I know that this video is going to go all over the world, but let's say you especially watch this you're in the United States of America, you have a cell phone in your hand, you have Wi-Fi that you're connected to, or cellular data that you're able to watch this on. You probably have at least one other piece of technology in your house. You probably have a roof over your head, even if it's not the nicest. You probably have some sort of vehicle transportation, even if you don't own it. Maybe you have public trans. You probably have some sort of income, even just a little bit, to be putting food in your stomach. I'm gonna guess that 95% of you are not homeless borrowing someone else's phone to watch this video. I'm gonna guess. There may be some homeless people watching this video, and if that's the case, love you, sending you so much love. But for the most part, all of us have at least some resources available to us. We don't like the fact that we're in paycheck to paycheck mode, or that we don't have an overflow of abundance to do exactly what we want with it. But you're probably in a place where at least your basic needs for the most part are being met. Every single, I was gonna say even and ever, or every at the same time. So every single one of these pieces that you can see around you of, oh, I have a phone, I have internet, I have lights on, I have electricity, I can heat up some food, I have a microwave, I have a safe place to sleep, I have a bed, or I at least have a blanket and a pillow, right? Like, look at all of these things around you, and I want you to start to assign a dollar amount to them. even like the apartment complex that you live in or the neighborhood that you live in, look at the houses around you. Maybe you even go on Zillow or Redfin or whatever the local way that you can look up housing prices or the housing value around you is. And I want you to start assigning a dollar amount to every single thing around you. Like, I'm filming this on my iPhone 16. I know that I paid almost $1,000 for that. So instead of a phone, I'm going to look at it as I'm filming this on $1,000. This car that I'm in, I know that I put 15 grand down. So I'm going to look at this as I'm sitting in a minimum of $15,000 right now. The house that I live in, I know that it's worth, like, let's say 600 grand or 700 grand. So even though I'm not paying that on it, the house itself is worth 600 grand or 700 grand. So I'm sitting, every time that I'm in my house, I'm sitting inside of 600 grand. Even with an apartment complex, let's say you don't own it, let's say you're just renting it, the apartment complex itself is worth at least $1 million probably. Like, if they were to sell the apartment complex, they would be selling it for at least $1 million. So you're sitting in $1 million right now. Even if you are not in a home, like let's say you're just out in society, you can look and be like, okay, someone had to pave the road, someone had to pay to landscape it, someone had to pay to build that building over there. I see cars all around me, so I'm going to say it's a minimum of 10 grand per car that's around me. So let's see, that's 10, 20, 30, 40. There's at least $200,000 driving around me right now. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, the clothes that I'm wearing, like someone had to pay to make those and I had to pay to buy it. My purse, I bought that. Like, start to look at everything around you as money, and you'll start to realize you're actually not broke at all. You might not have the physical representation of the abundance that's around you inside of your bank account right now, but you're actually surrounded with abundance literally all the time. So when you can start to even look at it like that and start to realize, okay, I might not have mastered the ability to channel and funnel monetary abundance from the quantum into my direct bank account, but I'm still experiencing abundance. I'm still surrounded with abundance everywhere that I go. So this is also going to help you start to tap into this creativity and this idea behind, how can I see money around me? Because when you start to see money around you, you are now unlocking a piece of yourself that is able to see how money can find you. Are you feeling this? Are you feeling it in your body? Are you feeling this like unlocking happening? So this is the basis of what I teach my students, is how to get to this neutral point. Even before, like, I have my Reiki for Riches, which is my baseline program. Right now at time of filming, it's only $44 to get in. It does incrementally go up. So if you're seeing this and you're like, dude, I love your energy, I absolutely want to be in this with you, definitely check the caption or the description box for how to get access to that, or just go to the link in my bio and you'll see the link to join that. So get in ASAP so that you can lock yourself in. You'll grandfather yourself in at the $44 a month. So even if there is a future increase, you'll never pay more. But regardless, that's my baseline. I have a additional program that once my students go through Reiki for Riches and love it and start seeing results, you can go into my private offering, which is called the Awakened Abundance Academy. And the Awakened Abundance Academy is all about healing your relationship with money, learning how to work with the universe, learning how to work with the divine. But the first it's a 10-month program, but the first 6 months are genuinely just healing you on an energetic level and starting to open you up to ideas of how money can find you. So we go through like a deprogramming healing session, then we go through a reprogramming healing session, then we go through a nervous system expansion session where we go in and help you be able to receive more, and then we go into a highest self activation, and then we go into a highly favored abundance activation. After all of that, then we get to the Master Manifestor Foundations, where I have like 9 master classes that I've prepared for my students. And the reason I'm sharing this process with you is you have to get yourself to a point energetically where you start to open up and you start to clear out some of the energetic baggage that's been holding you back before you even get to the Master Manifestor Foundations, okay? So before you're a master manifestor, you at least have to be in the energy of, I'm open to receiving. I'm open to becoming an intentional manifestor. I'm open to receiving more money. I'm open to being in overflow without feeling guilty about it. I'm open to receiving more without feeling like I have to work super hard for it. I have another video on my channel that I think you'll love, and it's called How to Manifest More Money Without Working Hard. That one is fire. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely go to my channel and watch that one. one as well. I also have a video called God Wants You to Be Rich, and we go into deprogramming some of the ideas around having money being evil, or, you know, only bad people having money. And I really go into this idea of like, no, God actually wants you to be really well resourced. So I have, I think, 3 other videos right now on my channel that are long form, that are super incredible, and I think you're gonna love it. So definitely go check those out. But we get you to a point of just being open to the possibility and then being willing to act on it. Until you're at this point, things are going to continue to feel really hard for you. But if you're starting to even realize through this video, like, oh shit, you're right, I actually do have a lot more available to me than I initially thought, you're in a much better place than most. And you're already at this cusp, at this brink of being able to unlock new experiences for yourself. That's also why I priced Reiki for Riches the way that I did. Like, just to give you an idea of the value inside of this, there are 5 hours of healing sessions inside of Reiki for Riches as I walk you through clearing on 5 levels. The first level we clear you on is an ancestral or lineage clearing. So any trauma that's being held in your cellular DNA, literally 7 generations back or even further, we go in, we clear that out, and we energetically get your guides on your side so that they're helping you instead of creating resistance in the quantum. All of these sessions, by the way, are designed to be kind of like a guided meditation situation. So you're not having to do anything. You're just showing up and receiving the energy. Then the second session I lead you through is past life money contracts. So we go through and we clear out any past life shit that's still holding you back in this life. Then we go through a childhood subconscious clearing. So anything that you picked up in your childhood that is actually holding you back, we go and we clear that out. Then we go through a money, mindset, and worthiness healing, where we go in and we start to clear out any scarcity in your mindset and start to just open you up to the idea that maybe you are meant to be a multimillionaire, or even if multimillionaire, it feels too much for you, at least living in a place of overflow for you, what you feel like is a place of overflow. And then I go through and I do what I call a financial frequency flow increase, where I go in and I help you increase your ability to receive money, hold on to it with ease without feeling antsy or guilty or shitty or wanting to get rid of it. And then also healing your ability to spend your money with ease, because we don't want to just call in a bunch of money and then like white knuckle it, right? So each one of these sessions is about an hour. If you were a private client booking a custom healing session inside of Reiki for Riches, which my Reiki for Riches students have access to, you would be paying $444 for like a 1-hour healing session, essentially. So 5 hours times 444, it's like over $2,000 worth of healing that you would be paying for, that I'm literally charging only $44 a month. I also do monthly oracle card readings, so channeled readings, where I'm going through, I'm using tarot and my oracle decks to do monthly energy predictions at the beginning of every single month, so we can look at the numerology of the month, the cosmic events that are happening, and then we do a reading through the cards and through whatever comes through me, to see what we can expect as a collective for the month. Like, as I'm filming this in August, we had the most insane reading that everyone's like super fired up about. And then you also get to be in community with me. So I will occasionally check the comments here. I'll occasionally check the comments on my social. I don't answer DMs, very rarely. I'm like going back and forth on email. So these paid communities are the way that you can actually get guidance from me, coaching from me. I respond to every single post from every single one of my students. So it's the way that I can pour back into my students and make sure that the people that are in my community are being taken care of. So the reason why I even wanted to make sure that it was as affordable as it is, like $44 a month is extremely low ticket, especially in the coaching community, especially in the manifestation community, is because I know for me, when I was in this transitionary period of getting laid off from my corporate job, and then right before I started my business, I signed myself up for a manifestation subscription course that was like about $50 a month, and it absolutely changed my life, like collapsed so many timelines for me, made my business come to fruition because I was able to be in an energy of curiosity around new ideas, and my nervous system had some place to go every day where I felt supported. So this offering is like my way of supporting you in the same way that I was supported. And yeah, it was super, super helpful. So You can absolutely do all of this work on your own if you want to. Excuse me. Sometimes when I'm like channeling information, I start like burping. It's just energy clearing. But you can absolutely do all of this if you want to. Like, you can read all the books, you can watch hundreds of hours of YouTube videos, you can scour the internet for free content on Instagram, TikTok, etc. You can find some healers that will post some free healings on YouTube. You can get all of this information for free if you wanted to. But the nice thing about being in community with someone who's actually walked that journey and embodied it and like knows what you're going through, and having a curriculum of energy healings where you're just walking through what's already prepared for you, is it takes a lot of the doing out of it. Because for me, what I've noticed is when my students want to come into a place where they want to manifest, they usually have typically been working really, really hard and they're already burnt out. So the idea of doing more self-development with more that they're gonna have to like go and resource themselves and get all the information and try to figure it out, try to put the pieces together, is like exhausting. Like, it's not worth it to you. So the other thing, and I guess the last point that I'm making here, and you'll see how this all connects, is even if you feel that you're in a place of not being super well resourced, finding a low ticket something that you can plug yourself into to get that extra support, to collapse those timelines, to be able to more easily get yourself to that place of neutrality where you can start downloading new ideas and healing your nervous system. Because when you've been in a state of poverty or scarcity or not having enough, like, it does a number on your nervous system. It really does. So getting yourself to a point where you feel that more is available to you and not having to resource all of that information and all of the healing completely on your own will help you get to the next level and unlock new income streams faster. And what I love about Reiki for Riches is it attracts clients from all over the world, and it attracts people from all different niches. So this isn't just people that like work 9 to 5s. This isn't just entrepreneurs. Like, we have artists, we have real estate agents, we have people that work 9 to 5s that like use it to manifest raises in their jobs or their new dream job or the highest salary that they've ever had. We have people in there that are young. We have people in there that are older. We have men, we have women. Like, we have people from all different ethnic backgrounds. Like, this is a place where I've created where humanity in general can come and start to heal their abundance wounds and heal their nervous system to get yourself to a place where you can receive more easily. And money has such a funny way of showing up where you wouldn't expect it. Like, I have clients that have their home value just like increased. Like, I had one student whose home value increased by like $75,000 after going through her healing sessions. She also had money that had been held for over a year that was paid out to her. And then that same client was able to restructure her mortgage so that her monthly bills went down by $700. So that's one way that money comes in. Then I have another student who is going through a divorce right now, and her ex-husband was kind of fighting her on the settlement check. She goes through these healing sessions. All of a sudden he just walks into her house, hands her a check for 13 grand, didn't have to fight him on it, came in perfect divine timing. She was able to pay off all of her credit cards, all of her bills, get ahead. And then that same student goes on to manifest the apartment that she applied for and her dream job with the highest salary that she's ever made. Then she joins my Awakened Abundance Academy and is able to then call in additional income so that she manifests the 100K annual income that she wanted. I have people that have properties that have been sitting on on the market for over a year with no offers. Within 48 hours, they come in, they start doing the energy healing sessions. And my one client said that he got an offer within 24 hours of doing the healing sessions, and within 48 hours, his property was in escrow after a year of sitting there with like no one offering anything. Just had a client yesterday who said that she was kind of stressing about money. She started going through the healing sessions and she had this piece of art that she had created. It was like an original piece of art, and she had priced it at like $1,200 because she's like, you know, she knows that as an artist, you're supposed to price the art for what you'd be willing to part with it for if you really love it. She's like, no one's going to pay me $1,200 for this. Someone paid her the $1,200 for it, and it paid for exactly what she needed. Like, I had another client that came in. I literally saw him come in. I literally saw him sign up while I was packing up my bags, getting ready to go to LA for a business trip to accept an award for Reiki for Riches because it's now award winning. So I literally see the email come through that he's joined. Then 4 hours later, I'm sitting on the plane and the plane's about to take off to go to LA. And I open my phone and I have a message from him. And he said that within 4 hours, he just watched the first healing session. He had a deposit hit his account for $2,700. I have people come in that say that they knew that the money was going to come in because they had filed a claim for an insurance thing, or it was like a donation that was supposed to come in, or a refund that was supposed to come in, but it had been held, or it wasn't supposed to come in for like months or weeks. And because they cleared the energetic pathway, it came in like instantly. So the way that money can find you once you clear yourself energetically, there's like endless ways. There's literally millions and millions of ways that money can find you. You could literally even just be walking down the street and see money. That happens to me all the time. Like, I literally will be walking through, like, I remember I was walking through Target a few months ago, and all of a sudden I was just like stopped in my tracks. I was like guided intuitively to turn my head and look on the floor, and there was like a little wad of cash on the floor. Like, I literally have students that tell me the same exact thing that happens to me happens to them. Like, they go through the ancestral clearing, they get their ancestors on board, they start to work through past life money contract situations and clearing that out. And by the time they get to the childhood subconscious clearing, like every time they leave the house to go on walks, they're finding money on the ground. Like, it happens so consistently, and you can literally go through my website. I think I have over 40 testimonials actually screenshotted from my actual clients listed out on my website, where you can go through and read exactly how it played out for them. Because it's easy for me to say this, but also there are so many people in this space that aren't integral, aren't honest, or just kind of like lying to you about the results that their clients are getting, or their backstory, how much money they're actually making. So for me, I find it helpful, instead of picking and choosing and like just copying and pasting certain pieces of testimonials, I'm like, let me just screenshot the entire thing, highlight the important parts. I obviously block out their name for privacy, but I just upload the entire like testimonial that they're posting inside of the community. And there's over 40 of them that you can scroll through and see nervous system wins, money wins, how things are working out for my clients. So this work really does work. So this is an invitation as well as an informative video. Like, if you're feeling called to this work and you know that you have some energy blocks, you know that you've been trapped in this like victim mentality, you know that you have some work to do in order to get yourself to a point where you feel neutral enough to start to receive, please join us in Reiki for Riches. I would love to have you. I would love to help walk you through this energetic healing journey so that you can start to become an energetic match for wealth. That's why I call myself a wealth energetics coach, because there is an energy behind wealth that you have to master before it can come into your life. And it's not about working harder. So please, if you need to watch that How to Manifest Money Without Working Hard video that I've filmed, please go do that, right? Like, there are so many ways that money can find you without you burning yourself out and working yourself into the ground. We've been on for about 47 minutes now, so I'm gonna let you go. But if you found this video super helpful, please drop a like, please subscribe, and leave me your comments on what resonated, what was that like aha moment for you. Sending you so much love. I feel that this was helpful. I can feel energetically that a lot was cleared for a majority of the people that are watching this. Like, it felt a little constricted at first, and now it feels like things are opening up for you a little bit more. So feel free to watch the other videos on my channel. Feel free to join us inside of Reiki for Riches. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.